I have to admit, when it comes to PCs, I have a problem. Hello, my name is Brian, and I like RGB effects in my builds. Rainbow vomit, more like multicolored magic. This is my daily driver editing PC, and as should be pretty obvious by now, I've done all I can to not only cram it full of RGB components, but to make everything else on the interior bright white so that the lighting reflects around and generally creates as obnoxious of a presentation as possible. There's 64 gigs of G.Skill's Trident Z Royal Gold memory, a Hall of Fame 2080 Ti, the Asus X299 Prime Deluxe motherboard, and it's topped off with 6 Thermaltake fans and the Enermax LickTech 2 Special Edition cooler. But as much as I enjoy this PC, I know plenty of you out there would just as soon jump shot it into a trash dumpster than look at it for 10 hours a day sitting next to you on a desk. The anti-RGB crowd is growing in numbers, and I see you in the comments always wishing that companies would tone down the crazy lighting effects that are seemingly on every product. So I've gone ahead and put together what you might consider the mirror version of this build from some kind of alternate reality straight out of the Upside Down. It will still use a 7980XE processor, 64 gigs of DDR4, a 2080 Ti, and it'll still be built in the Lian Li PC011. It'll just be slightly different. Now this video is more meant to be a fun exercise in aesthetic component choices than a build guide or tutorial. So you're not going to see a massive step-by-step build log after the intro. Instead, I'll introduce you to the parts used and then showcase both systems. I want you guys to sound off in the comments on which you like better and why. After that, we'll talk a little bit about how they differ and which one I prefer. Here are our two systems side by side, sharing the stage for a very contentious public weigh-in. After I put together this system, I decided to run a few quick tests on the things that would matter most to me if either of these was going to be my daily machine. I slapped in this Team Group MP32M.2 SSD and installed Windows and a few basic programs including Adobe Premiere and some test video files. The first thing I thought might be different about them was acoustics. After all, they use two very different fan configs and the Blackout version is more open on the front. Both the Thermaltake Ring Trio fans and the Noctua Chromax run at 1500 RPM max. So I put the systems under stress and measured sound from about a foot away using my sound meter. To my surprise, they were both almost exactly the same. Because of the more open nature of the PC-011 Air, this likely means that you're getting slightly less fan noise from the Noctuas than from the Thermaltakes, but it all kind of balances out in the end and acoustics was basically a push. However, I did notice a significant difference in thermals, with the Blackout version staying cooler under what would be a regular workload for this kind of a system. The end result though was that both builds rendered out the same Adobe Premiere project in this same amount of time. No real surprise given that they're basically twins who were raised on different sides of the tracks. I think overall I still prefer the white version with all the colored lighting and gold end sourced cables. It's not that I'd necessarily want to keep it this way forever, but the multiple RGB effects inside make it so that I can change up the look to whatever I want, whenever I want. And if I prefer a darker desk companion, then I could just turn them all off. While the Blackout version looks stealthy and almost angry at times, and I really love the carbon fiber shroud on the EVGA for the Win 3 card, I think I honestly might get bored of it at some point. But what do you guys think? Which one of these monster machines would you prefer to rock on a daily basis? Sound off in the comments below, and don't forget to get subscribed to the channel if you're not already. Thanks for watching, guys. Check out the merch store or consider becoming a patron if you'd like to support me directly. And I'll see you guys next time.